Hello, welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number 251. It's the beginning of November, and DJ, you know what that means?
Koregra.
Koregra. It's a relatively quiet Koregra because this is the month leading up to all of the big December announcements. So, relative quiet, but that still means there's plenty to talk about. We're going to split it over 2 weeks at least. Anyway, introductions. This is Vibrating Sheep. I run Granblue_EN, and with me to bounce ideas off of.
It's always DJ.
Hi, DJ.
Hello.
Okay, so uh, let's start where we left off last week, shall we?
So we're talking about the character that was updated and now has a 5-star.
Yeah, she was updated, and hours later, and by hours later I mean almost exactly 7 days ago, we got ourselves a 5-star Lunalu. And so it is worth looking at her because they did not lean into CAs quite as much as I thought they did. They lean into CAs, but they lean into exactly 3 of them, which I find hilarious.
You know what? They actually made it so that her CA can actually do damage. This gives me hope.
This is true. So yeah, her CA actually did damage, which means when it comes to... So, are you waiting for 5-star Diantha to do damage, DJ? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Which Diantha, or is the answer yes?
The answer would be Earth because that one's the most readily available one.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's fair. You mean they're not going to 5-star the character that you got from buying the Idol CD?
No.
Alright, so yeah, first step, they changed it so that her previous calamitous storybook became disastrous storybook, which the only change that they gave to it was that it now does damage along with actually having the rest of the effects.
Yep. That's all it did.
And that's all it needed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna CA a lot.
Yeah. And then the next thing after that, they upgraded. It's the Handsome Gorilla DA++ here, which gives charge meter up now.
Well, that was 95.
That's
90 was
95. Oh,
something else.
90 is then Deadline Plus.
Correct.
And so this one, boost to all allies attack, defense, and damage cap as Lulu's max HP goes down.
So it's 2% for each, like 10%. So it goes up to 20%, I think.
And by the time it goes to 20%, she's dead. So
That ties into something else later, though.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the damage cap going up over time without having to press button. Well, you do press buttons, but you don't have to press a button dedicated to it. Is really nice. Like if you're in short-term fights, which there's a lot of those in Granblue Fantasy these days, then this can do a lot. This can do a lot of work.
This also activates on in full auto too, so
All right.
it's always nice.
Yeah. So then she gives meter up to everybody, which is fine.
Yeah, 10%. But she's also built into herself is to get more meter in the first place.
Yeah.
So she's gonna CA more.
And she's gonna help other people CA more because her CA gives everyone meter, and also she's going to give herself a bunch of meter in multiple ways. And then yeah, the last one is that she gets a new passive that says if she has finalized 3 pages, so if she's CA'd 3 times in the fight
And dies.
and then dies, then she passes on a permanent buff to the rest of the team.
The buff is 25% normal attack, 25% defense up, and 10% cap up.
A permanent 10% cap up for the very dark effect of just all the cost is you let someone die. It's like, oh no, Lulu has to die. However, will we make this work?
I guess that's the reason why they changed how the page stacks work with their rework because they want her to die now.
Mm-hmm.
Because before the page stacks was the CA effect, but attached to herself existing.
Mm-hmm. But now she can just pass on the book to everyone else, peace out, and then someone else comes in and goes nuts.
The ally that switches in will not get the buff though.
And if you also are using the Pain of Death to give her a Resurrect, then she still won't get it. But she can refinalize. But then again, it's a permanent buff. You really just don't want to revive her with the Pain of Death.
If you're doing that, there's nothing wrong with your game plan, to be honest.
You'd rather have her
more defense, I guess, by having herself back on the field and have the 10% stacking defense up.
Yeah, you'd rather have her in the second or third spot in that case, and then have someone else keep receiving the Resurrect from the Pain of Death. Anyway,
Nier doesn't need it.
Yeah,
she doesn't need this buff at all.
She doesn't need defense. She's either at 100%.
I barely see her die.
Yeah, she's either at 100% or 0%. There's like no in between, and it's not based on dodge. It's just based on the fact that she takes like 90% less damage than normal. But yeah, this is just cool. Like the patterns that we sketched out. So there's like, we were talking about what you can copy with facsimile, right? And if you want her to make sure that she survives to get the third CA, then instead of hitting Inspiration 3 times and having 10% max HP, you can copy Albert, for example. Or, some other people would be able to have her like copy 6, have her function like a normal character for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a little flexible. Like, there's a little bit of leeway in how you play her right now before you, sacrifice her and pass on these great buffs to somebody. It's fun. There's a lot of possibility. I like.
Other thing you could do is like pretty much every 3 turns, if you're not lowering her health, you could just keep CAing after you have 3 stacks of pages.
Yeah, you can just attack. This is also true.
Because she'll get like 30 meter each turn.
33 before you get to effects like Vikala.
Yeah, she can CA a lot each with her passives. So
yeah, this is fun. I like it. It's not like super nutso, but then again, any character like Lunalu, you will always, always, always have to keep an eye out on for whenever something becomes copyable and is nuts. So, speaking of which, would you like to move on to the next best use of the fantasy tag?
Sure.
So, moving on from Lunalu, we now have our new character, Lunalu. But it's sword Lunalu.
I saw her event. I'm like, she's light. Oh, I see where we're going with this.
So she is the fantasy tag. She's what, the 3rd or 4th character with the fantasy tag after Freezy and Sandalfa, and I can't remember if there's more. Oh yeah, what, School Korwa?
Vera.
Oh, that's right. Wind Vera. So what, 5? She's number 5 or so now.
This is number 6.
This is a great tag. I'm just saying that now. There's a lot of possibility in it. All right, so this character really just doesn't want to play the game for very long. This is fun.
I mean, you're allowed to do 3 CAs, and then you can decide not to play the game anymore.
Like, this is the most Wind Yoda thing I've seen. It's like, why do Harvins get all of this fun? So it's like, all right. So her CA is nothing to really write home about. It's
what? There's only one other character with this type of effect, though.
With massive light damage?
No.
For her CA, like the other stuff.
10% defense, stackable defense down permanent.
Oh, it's permanent. Hold on.
Yeah.
I missed that part when I was looking through.
Yeah, because it's the same effect as TN.
I see. I remember people telling me this now, and now I had sort of worked it out of my brain somehow.
Light really likes permanent debuffs, all right?
Yeah, I know. Like, because I'm so used to like Noah or, really it's mostly Noah that I leave on there the most. But like Halmal can do it. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty good. It is really good.
Goes up to 30%.
And it's
which is
permanent.
the same. That's the same as TN's, I think.
Permanent stuff. Well, TN's is also random which one you get, so
I
this
mean,
one's
all
more
three of them are really
reliable.
good.
hmm But for things like Unite and Fight, where you have frequent debuff wipes, this is super reliable. That's good. That's way better than I was expecting.
It does have a chance to miss because it does still suffer from the accuracy,
hmm
but you only need it 3 times.
Yeah, that's true. And then she can give herself a full meter for the cost of 30% of her HP. She can do the Lunalu copy, and then after she copies, she extends buff durations on herself. She has the Averati clause on it that says if it's a one-turn buff, like say, oh I don't know, Salted Wound, then it still goes away the next turn.
hmm
And then another 30% of her hit points can be converted into Triple Strike.
And what happens when she uses the skill again?
Oh, every time that she uses any skill, she triple attacks, has a substitute, and dodge all.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. And so any button that she presses, then she prevents damage, any single target damage. Wait, is it substitute? Yeah, it's not sub all. It's just substitute. Any single
I mean,
target
that'd be
damage.
kind of broken if it was so all.
Yeah, yeah. And so you just can easily sketch out what she's going to be doing, especially since her skills have 0 cooldown. You're just going to be
Yep.
like, all right, triple strike, go, copy something.
Triple strike with guaranteed TA.
Yeah.
So
And then
one of the things I was actually writing out was, oh, what characters are pretty good to copy that gives a buff to themselves, and Lucio came up.
Lucio's probably the one. Because I think
This is a
Nehans are
2-turn.
uncopyable and also they're team wide anyway.
Yeah, but Lucio's skill 3 is 2 turns, so it will get extended.
hmm
90%, bonus light damage. You were gonna get the guaranteed triple attack though.
So I'm just saying, this is like the way that they've designed this Lunalu. She still can copy Albert's skill refresh. It's just that it doesn't do anything. It's like, yeah, I've refreshed my skills. They had 0 cooldown to begin with. All right.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that I thought. It's like, what on Light Albert can be copied? It's like, oh, everything. It's just that they're meaningless to copy.
Another thing you could technically copy is Yukata Yorimiya's Sierra reactivates.
Oh yeah, give the enemy 2 dots.
And sometimes you do.
Yeah, like every single one of Grea's buffs is copyable, but once again, they're all team buffs anyway. So, eh.
What else was on my notes? Things you also copy. You can copy Somerset's solid wounds, so you can actually do the same thing with her.
Mhm.
And then my favorite one that you can copy is Arthur's, all 3 of his buttons.
She too can be Excalibur.
Yeah, you can get that Thunderstruck, and also heal everybody for 2,000.
But yeah, like the reason to play this character is to have 3 turns of immunity, and then she dies and gives way to someone else, basically.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have a death effect like her other version.
But up until you get to the point where she dies, she's crazy strong.
I like that she has 2 CA damage cap nodes and 4 CA damage nodes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this character looks really fun. I look forward to using her at some point in the future when I actually do draw her.
Do you want to know the numbers on Evil Eye Fencer?
Sure. Boost the CA
Alright.
specs. Let's see.
So when she reduced her HP by 30%, she gets 100% CA damage up and 50% cap.
50% cap's a pretty significant thing for pressing one button. All right, next.
60% is at 150% damage up and 100% cap.
Okay. Does special cap go up at level 3?
No, it's not
Okay.
special cap, sadly. It's still It's 200 at 90%. It's 200% CA damage and 150% damage cap up for CA.
So no wonder people pair her with Cagliostro, because she is going to slam so hard into the hard cap.
Yeah, she will.
She's like, unless you're on something with like 30 defense or something like that, she is going to slam into the hard cap, and then you'll need to raise the special cap.
And you know what? You 3 CAs. That's a perfect number if you hit all 3 of them with the defense down.
Yeah, that's true. So this character is gonna do a lot during Unite and Fight, like Nightmare 150, huh? Because she's gonna
because she'll set up the stage for pretty much capping out your defense down.
Even when the debuffs wipe, and then she'll die, and then you can
you
have
don't
like,
expect her to live.
Yeah, and then
you were purposely putting her 10% HP.
Yeah, and then you'll bring in like Geisenborger or like Gawain or any of the other like more sustainable hard hitters. So.
Oh man, I'm gonna get Greya, so she could keep Geisenborger alive.
Oh yeah, I love that combo. Frontline Geisenborger.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah, frontline Geisenborger with Greya is like the reason I would use Greya frontline. That is not the reason.
Just use her because she's Greya.
That's the reason I would use her in general, yes, but for frontline specifically. But anyway, yeah, happy birthday, Greya. It was a couple days ago, so yay. Just had to stick that in there. Don't mind me.
Princess Connect screen was delayed by 3 characters.
3 birthdays all on the same day in Princess Connect, yeah. And Greya
Meanwhile, in English, there's only 1 character.
Oh, they don't have Mysteria yet in English Princess Connect?
We also don't have Kasumi yet.
Okay.
They celebrate her birthday, though.
Alright. Are you ready for the second character?
Character from a Fate episode.
Yeah, so they did this twice, and it was both times in Wind. So just like Azusa, we've got ourselves Enyo, the goddess of destruction.
Another psychopath on our crew.
Welcome. We have a special room just for you psychopaths. You can join the mass murderers. Yeah, like I haven't looked at this Fate episode yet, and we'll see what it's just Granblue's gotten wild.
Look, I'm still waiting for like Olivia to stab me back somewhere. Okay.
We've been waiting for like 5 years for that, and it hasn't happened.
Nope, hasn't happened at all.
And it won't happen anytime soon until whatever is going on with Sakamoto Maya's health is resolved.
Yeah.
So, anyway, hope she gets well soon. I hope there's good news in the future. But until then, no Olivia content. Here, Windspear. Let's go back to Windspear. So, the thing to go straight to in this character is like there's a lot of things here that you think seem familiar, but they are new in a certain way. So Trampling Spear is the signature. This is the reason to use this character. So when an ally removes a foe's buff, 1000% wind damage to all foes, delay, instant CA standby to her.
The cap on that 1000% damage is 1.1 million.
That's a lot. That's a very big individual buff. And the thing is that people are like, wow, is she creeping out Maria Theresa? It's like, nah.
No, because you need to actually hit your thing instead of Maria Theresa, which says you are trying to remove something. Here,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if there's a buff for Maria Theresa. She just does it. Enyo actually cares about there being a buff that is not Evangelist. People checked immediately. They went into Lucilius immediately and checked what happens when you dispel Evangelist off of Lucy. And the answer is nothing. But then she gets a delay, and then she gets full meter. That full meter activates Ajax, and Ajax is the other signature here, which boosts her damage cap. And every time she presses it,
new effects.
So step 1, she gets triple attack for 2 turns.
Guaranteed.
Second cast, Drain, 2 turns.
Well, the first cast is the cap up, then second cast is
Oh, cap up here. That's right. Cap up. Second one is triple attacks.
30%,
Third is drain.
1,000,
Um, then 2 turns of wind damage or wind
20%,
chaser, 20%, and then one time for charge attack damage up.
and cap up. The damage up is 80%, and the cap up is 20%.
Yeah. So the ideal case is that you are dispelling something and um, reactivating Ajax, and then dispelling something and reactivating Ajax, and then you get to ramp up to the 5th cast as quickly as possible.
So how many wind characters can force a buff on an enemy?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
I looked and I didn't find any.
Like the only characters I could think of that purposely give a buff on an enemy is literally Sachiko.
Sachiko's light, isn't she? Or is she wind?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was just his character in general.
Yeah. Well, Sturm buffs the enemy. Water Sturm. Let me make sure that. Yeah, she gives 2 buffs to the enemy.
Dang,
But
if only she was in wind.
yeah, so this one is extremely fight dependent. It's great against Galleon because you let class
Yes.
you let class regain happen. And you're just like, hey, 3 buffs. You
Hey,
go
look,
away.
there's a sleeping man over here.
Yeah. So it's like Astariola just dispels every turn, so she's gonna CA for 4 straight turns. Okay, that's great. All right, and then that's the pattern that you want, but it's like once again, we'll see what happens. They have a tendency to have bosses that put up like 3 or 4 buffs during Unite and Fight. Once again, like 50% or 75% trigger. Like having this character to do that, have her do her thing and ramp up to maximum Ajax as quickly as possible. Sounds great. It sounds great in exactly that situation.
We'll see.
Yeah. She does dispel for herself if you want to.
Every 5 turns. Pretty good cooldown.
Yeah, it's a pretty good cooldown. It comes with the local Petrify, which usually works against like medium difficulty bosses once, which is nice.
And also 25% wind defense down, which is really nice.
20, and so the combination of wind defense down and dispel, well, that breaks an omen on Galleon, and specifically Galleon. This character is a big middle finger to Galleon.
Well, and if you're not Galleon, you attack AoE, there's a different middle finger you can put up.
Mm-hmm. Which is Goddess's Ecstasy, where it's just like Athena. Every time she's targeted, she gets a +1 of a stack, and then when she hits 5, then she casts her nuke, which has extra hits, and then gives minus defense and debuff resist down.
That's better than Athena's because Athena's is burn.
Yeah, and so for that part, for the sustained long fight, she does tons of damage for an element that has Ewiar's beak.
You have to sustain her a little bit.
Yeah, she can't sustain herself the same way.
1,000 drains not enough.
Yeah, she doesn't have, things like team-wide damage cut. Or team-wide healing, or team-wide veil.
Shield.
Yeah. So, you're not... People called her Wind Athena just for Clastos Polis, which, is a fair thing. But that's only an offense. She doesn't do that much on defense.
Her defense is remove buff.
Yep.
Which can't do that against what's his face, Beelzebub. His buff is not spellable unless it's the 50% one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chat mentions that Fire Drang does it, and Halloween Halasena. And it's like
all these wind characters.
All these wind characters, right? And so yeah, this character's strong.
We're not gonna deny that.
We're not gonna deny that. But yeah, I do find it funny that like half of this kit says "Screw you, Galleon," and then Clastos Polis does actual literal nothing against Galleon.
I don't I don't think you'll be able to get like 10 stacks in Galleon to be 5 stacks in Galleon, to be
You
honest.
will get it after you've had an Ireland hurled at you 5 times, which is
You
like
might just
turn.
cancel it though.
Oh boy.
It's not like yeah, I don't know. You will have to just eat Highlands.
Yeah, great Unite and Fight character though. Great in Unite and
Oh yeah,
Fight.
definitely.
What's the Earth Malice? It's Phronesis. Phronesis.
It can. It can hit her.
Yeah, it can hit her.
I don't know if it has any buffs.
Let me remind myself of what Phronesis actually does. It's been quite a while.
It gets mad at you. That's all I remember.
It gets mad at you for doing for doing certain actions when it's against the rules, but does it buff itself?
I don't
It gives
remember any
itself
buffs.
debuff resist up
How many times does it do that?
for recess once.
Once. Awesome.
Yeah, all right. She doesn't do much against the. Well, she does lots of damage against Phronesis, which does not make her unique in Windle at all. Like at all, at all.
There's a defensive character who could do that.
hmm
His
So,
name is Grimnir.
hmm so anyway, cool design. Very clear use cases. As bosses come out that buff themselves a lot, we'll see. But it mostly looks like a Unite and Fight character right now.
I like seeing this part as well in the notes. If you remove more than one buff in a single action, it only activates once. Which
And then
makes sense.
the other thing that changes the rules a little bit from what we expected is that if you use something like Hamsa, Lonesome Dragoness, Lumi, whatever, as a summon to dispel, it activates. That's
The reasoning is because it's just the act of removing a buff,
right,
not the act of casting it from a character, which is
right,
what Maria Theresa did.
right. And so it changes your expectations a little bit once you've gotten too used to like it has to be a button. It's like no, this doesn't have to be a button. It can be a summon. It can be an effect. It cares about there being a buff icon on the boss, and it goes away.
Oh yeah, there's another character I forgot that does this, the Maria Theresa role. Gag.
Cagliostro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch, we're gonna get a win character who buffs the enemy either right before or right after Unite and Fight. Well, I mean,
There has to be a reasoning though.
the thing was that like my first thought when she came out was, does Show buff the enemy? And it's like Show gives the enemy something. It's a charge dot.
Yeah,
So no.
which is the same as his counterpart.
hmm It's the same as Tsubasa. So anyway, cool character. Seems fun. Not really going to like change the way I play the game or anything.
True.
All right, you ready to move on to stuff that's coming up?
We got our third dragon. We can say that at least.
All right, Eviar's here. Eviar exists. I found it hilarious that the way that Eviar works right now, Narmea slams so hard into the cap it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
There was that video that our crewmate linked of like, this is the effect before Eviar. This is the effect after Eviar. It's like, this is within 2 seconds of each other. This is within like 100 honors of each other. Shrug.
Yeah. Well, so it looks like all of the dragons will have supplemental damage on call, but that's about it.
hmm But yeah, Eviar is the one that has the least impact right now. Whether or not that stays is up to, the game designers themselves.
Yeah. All right, future things.
All right, future things. Let's go ahead and switch over to a different view. We are going to talk about things that were revealed in Koregra. So, this is the big one here. So, not Unite Fight, Rise of the Beasts. We talk about how it doesn't really change that much. Like we're in, we're out, we're done. And the
Yep.
only thing that's changed in the past like year or so of it is that we now have a reason to host our Huanglong and Keelan combined raids because the Transcendence step requires 30 true anima of Huanglong and Keelan, or Keelan.
It's a lot.
It's a
Really a
lot, a
lot.
lot. It's a lot, a lot. I have 4 more Transcendences worth in my kit. Um, but anyway, I still need a lot more. So
Yeah, I'm working on Win right now.
that one didn't really change how we played it, though. It just changed the fact that it was like, oh, I guess we have a reason to host these
It
other
gave
than
us a
gold bricks.
reason.
Yeah. Um, so the next thing that they're going to be doing is they're going to be adding a 5th star to the Qinglong Spear, or the Seiryu Spear,
Okay.
which is, neat. We've talked a lot about how Wind has too many spears, but that one was one of the ones that you just like, hey, if you can sneak this in, 7% cap up on a normal mod attack, like that sneaks its way into a Magna Grid sometimes. And now with the 5th star, it does a little bit more. Hooray! Um, and then like the let's see here. The thing that I do like is that you do not have to rely on drops. You can just trade for the mats to uncap all of them with points. Um, I am
Always good.
I am glad that they several years ago stopped the whole like you have to hope for one drop and just mash for it design they did with like the last time I saw that was the original Xenos, and they stopped doing it after that.
Yeah, you could just get the Xeno stuff now.
Okay. Then here's the other thing is that in order to get people like us who are just like get in, blow things up during strike time, get out, there's another reason to do. I keep wanting to call it Unite and Fight, Rise of the Beasts,
Rise of the Beast.
and as a reward for getting every single spear up to level 200, they have this very like I guess ancient Chinese armor, like very what are they? The Earthen Warriors, the
It
soldier.
looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. I love the coloring on it. Um, I hope it's not just on spear classes, DJ.
What you mean? They are holding a spear, Dom.
Look,
I
look.
too want better spear classes, Dom, but
I guess I would use this on Spartan. I guess.
can I use this over my horse?
Yeah, the only thing that I'm sad about with this is that it will cost me one, and little parentheses, one Huanglong and Keelan host because it's going to take 2 of the Qinglong seals in order to uncap these things. Oh well.
Oh yeah.
On the plus side, I'll just join other people's, and that'll be that.
I think I already bought all 3 spears, so
I too have bought all 3 spears. There were people who were complaining that they reduced the spears like 3 years ago when it was still possible to do so. I'm pretty sure you can get those back, or they'll put in some way to say, hey, they're back in the shop for you.
they're usually diligent about checking that.
Hmm.
And if not, someone's gonna report it, and then they fix it.
Yep. All right. So anyway, I'm looking. Of the remaining beasts, DJ, which one are you looking forward to the most for a skin?
Genbu.
Do you want a turtle fist? Turtle
This won't
fist
be a
class?
turtle.
I actually was gonna say Granblue also. Like what they do with the turtle costume when like they're gonna be squaring up with like turtle shells on their fists. That's gotta
That'd be
be
sick.
it's gotta be a lot of fun. The other
Next one would be Manhand Tiger.
no, I don't want Manhand's Tiger.
That'd be
I was,
funny.
I was going to do Katana, Phoenix Katana.
I mean, we do have a good amount of katana classes that are usable now.
Hmm. So that was going to be mine. I wonder what chat is saying as we look at this. Juque, it could end up looking pretty. Yeah, good question.
Well, they have now set a new precedent. We'll see what happens in the future as well.
Yeah. All right, we're skipping past a few of these things. So we're moving on to two upcoming collabs. One that is confirmed and one that is shit posted. So number one, here's Doraemon, beloved children's character Doraemon, coming
Yep.
in December.
I mean, I didn't expect another collab this year, so
I didn't expect another collab this year either, and I didn't expect it. Although I probably should have been able to like have it in my like field of view, because remember that Gachapin and Muku are actually beloved children's characters in Japan.
yeah, but we don't get ads from Doraemon.
We don't get like roulettes from Doraemon. Yeah.
Doraemon doesn't sing Gurenge.
Sugita sings Doraemon. That's the only thing I've ever heard him sing, actually.
You don't remember him singing as Kion,
Doesn't he just
quote
talk
unquote
through that?
singing?
Yeah, I was gonna say. But like, yeah. The question is, will this be like the Zone of the Endless Collab, just some that's it? Nope. This one is specifically the silhouette of a character. Gee, I wonder who it is, DJ.
That weird astronaut thing from Adachi and Shimura.
It's
Anyways,
got to be several blue spheres on top of each other.
I saw that post. This is great.
The other one that I saw that I would liked was they took the head and just turned it into the roulette wheel. It's like, well,
That was also good.
you're not wrong. There's other news in this Koregra that we'll talk about more next week, but there's one last thing that we need to talk about, and it
Something that came from a couple years ago.
3 years ago. Let me just bring up PocketTube, because 3 years ago, Gold Ship beat KMR in Shadowverse. And she said, now that I've beaten you, my reward should be that I go to every Cygames game. And KMR, being KMR, he laughs and goes, well, get more followers on this channel.
Guess what blew up this year, guys?
And so, this promise was made in November 2018, 2.5 years before the Gold Ship game, also known as Uma Musume, came out. And today released this video that says, you remember KMR making this promise? We do. And hey, guess what? You remember, right? Viewers, you remember this? And then the staff says, KMR said it's time for a collab.
Oh, thanks, Gold Ship.
The time has come. It's happening.
I just want her to drop kick somebody.
So she says that she's going to be in multiple Cygames games, DJ. Multiple games.
Remember when Special Week was on Granblue?
Yes, I do. All she was a login screen for the anime.
Yeah, I miss her.
Gold Ship. So here's the thing: is that Gold Ship was also the #1 most requested collab character in that Famitsu poll last year, where they were like, "I want to see what Gold Ship does in every game possible." We're gonna get there. Like, the easy thing is they're gonna make her a leader skin in Shadowverse.
That's the easiest thing they could ever do.
So that's one. Dragalia Lost, or people are like quivering in fear over the possibility of Gold Ship in their game. World Flipper people are like, Gold Ship can fit in. That would be easy.
She fits in fine. It's World Flipper.
She fits in just fine. World Flipper is just an isekai anyway.
Yeah, there's Haruhi in there.
Like, Princess Connect could easily fit in a Gold Ship. They already have a bunch of like crossover characters. Jita's in there. Rem and Ram and Amelia. Yeah. So, I can see Gold Ship. They already have a character who's literally a llama. Quite literally.
Hey, that's my favorite tank that pushes everything back.
Rage of Bahamut, she would be relatively easy to put in a card for. So
I mean,
how do you?
GBF, we have a billion collabs, so
Yeah. So do you think that she would just show up one day as a character and that would be it? Like, how do you think that they would run this?
hmm.
Melissa had the most terrifying thought about this, where she's like, hey, you know how Doraemon has the door to anywhere, the Doko Demo door?
Is that how? That's a pretty good way because then we get two at once.
Yeah, Doraemon just opens the Doko Demo door and Goldship comes out. It's like, oh, that's frighteningly realistic. Or the what is it? The what if phone booth, the Moshi box, I think it's called. Oh boy,
I like the Doraemon idea.
it's frighteningly possible. That's the problem I have. Like they could do it. Granblue is crazy. They're loco. Oh
Okay,
man.
Amari's gonna keep up his. It's probably gonna keep up the promise. So
Jeez. So anyway, here we are quivering in fear because Goldship's coming in, and this is the thing. Like, if you didn't pay attention to Uma Musume stuff this year, instead of Golden Week, they had Gold Ship Week, and it was a
great.
takeover week. Like, what they did was, for example, they changed the logo. They
Yep,
changed the
I
title
remember this.
screen. They changed. So, like, here's her posing for the new logo. They changed the logo for a week to Gold Ship instead of Special Week. They added her to the title screen. They did all sorts of crazy, stupid stuff for Golden Week. Sorry, Gold Ship Week. And this is like,
like I said, I just need her to drop kick somebody.
what if it just becomes Gold Blue Fantasy for a day or a week or however long? She's so powerful. She's so powerful. She's too strong, DJ. The shit
She is very
postery.
powerful. I love it.
Jeez.
Akatube is a gift.
PocketTube really is a gift. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I know that Granblue will be like lower on the priority list just because of like Granblue's schedule being the way it is, but I'm quivering in fear and excitement at the same time. Fear, excitement.
I appreciate this. I appreciate this a lot. Hey, we can finally have an Earth Golem character. We only have one.
One SSR? Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
because there was a full cycle of 6.
Yep.
Yeah, she would. Well, actually, the Umams count as idols to me, so she would join the
They are
ranks of all
very
the
idols.
SR idols. Yeah. All right. So
Remember, Dom, they had like 4 lives before they actually had the game.
Or yeah, that's true. They had like 3. So next week we'll be talking about Rose Queen. We'll be talking about Super Ultimate Bahamut V2 Assault Buster Eternal. Updates to Baja and Ultima stuff.
That's what I'm
And
actually excited to talk about next week.
and they will have we will actually know what the maintenance next week is for, so we'll talk about that then. Till then, thanks for joining me. Thank you, Gold Ship. Please have mercy on us in Granblue Fantasy.
Good night,
Jeez.
folks.
Granblue always goes so hard in April Fools for little stupid shit, and Gold Ship's gonna go so hard. It's gonna go so hard, DJ.
I mean, we don't know when she's coming.
You will know not the day that Gold Ship comes. Oh boy. Anyway, I'll be keeping up on this one. Like, I normally don't post about every single Cygames game at once, but whenever whenever it's like, okay, we found out which one that Gold Ship is going to, then I'll post about it. But like I said, I expect Shadowverse first because that was the original promise. Who knows though? Who knows?
Like you said, it's the easiest one to do.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone.